Hello, my name is Adeline Salazar, and I'm going to be talking about sexism discrimination. Sexism is a cruel discrimination that happens around the world all the time, dealing with singers, actors, and many more. When sexism is taking place in an area, many do not realize that it is going on. One example is between the singers Ariana Grande and The Weeknd. I'm talking about Ariana Grande and The Weeknd because they have shared some music in between each other, and they just are two people that you can compare against. So Ariana Grande started her musical career in 2008 at the age of 15. Despite all the years of working on her music career, her net worth is around $240 million. Keep in mind how much money is her net worth in 2024, and she started 16 years ago. Aside from that, she started her acting career for a short period of time at a young age also. How can this be sexism in her career? She worked on a song with The Weeknd, like how we discussed, and that caused the attention of seeing what are the differences between their net worth. The Weeknd started to make music in between the years of 2009 and 2011. His net worth is worth $300 million. Isn't that crazy? Now, Ariana Grande has acted and been in music awards throughout her whole career, and her fans have been through some stuff like how she's been, and it's been a traumatic thing. She kept going with her career though, despite the traumatic event that happened in one of her concerts. In that concert, there was bombing involved, and people had sadly passed away, which was her fans. Also, having many products done by her name. So how is it that the other singer has more money worth? Can it be that he is a man, or do they just do it all in general to women? There's proof of celebrities going through this. Here's a quote talking about the pay gap for an article all about celebrities talking about women actually being able to succeed through the pay gap only in 2018, but something is something. And here's the quote. And while women have produced, created, and told impactful stories, the gender pay gap persists. According to Forbes, actresses earn 24.8 cents for every dollar their male counterparts made in 2018, and only 14 out of 100 were called highest paid celebrities that year, and they were women. How come just in 2018 this is happening if a woman celebrity have been a thing since 1907? That is too much year between going on, and it is ridiculous how just now in 2018 women are happy for a year, even though they only got 14 out of 100 in the highest paid celebrities. This is most likely taking place in Hollywood, LA also. This all starts because of a coworker that every celebrity is in contact with, and that coworker is the producer. The producer knows the shares and the plan of what is going on with the celebrity they are working with, dealing with the Billboard, Grammys, and so many more. And here's a quote stating of what is going on with those producers and the Billboard Awards. The study was performed by examining the artists, songwriters, and producers credited on each of the 1,000 songs on Billboard's Hot 100 year-end chart from 2012 to 2021, along with the gender and race / ethnicity of every person in those three worlds. In 2021, there are 180 artists on that chart. 76.7% of them were men, and 23.3% were women. Across all 10 years, 78.2% of the artists were men and 21.8% were women. Gender discrimination happens everywhere, and many fans think that the billboards are fair and square, but it is most definitely not like that. That can also explain why celebrities know that it is hard to earn an award in the Billboard based on gender discrimination. Speaking of producers, many haters say horrible things about many women celebrities, also known as accusing, saying stuff like they had intimate relationship with their producers, or saying that all that beauty is fake. Why? How? Many men say that because they want to get in the woman's mind and let them know that they're not good enough, or even have them feel like they're not worth it. And even if a woman, say, has been through that, that doesn't mean that all women has. And that shouldn't have the right to have a man stereotype all women being the same. If it were like that, then if a man commits a murder, then should we all say that every man is a murderer? No, exactly. And that is the point why men shouldn't be doing that. I'm going to be interviewing a sophomore named Genesis Salazar, and she's going to be giving her thoughts in this interview. Hello, Genesis Salazar. How are you?
I'm good.
Okay, so I'm going to be giving you an interview dealing with sexism. Have you heard of sexism?
Yes.
Okay, so here goes the first question. Have you ever had personal experience or been a witness to sexism at school or anywhere else?
Yes. So in my personal experience, I have had people thinking, pretty much thinking, saying like, "Oh, you can't do this because you're a girl, you're not used to it," when in reality I most likely have, and I mean, I pretty sure think I have. It depends on the certain topics though, because in one of my classes,
What is that class?
construction, and so there is this one kid who likes to think that I don't do my work. When I do, I try to help out. But I remember this one time we were in class and he told me that, he was like, "Hey, Genesis, come here, come do your work since you want to stand there." When I was over here helping other groups that wasn't even in my group, but I was, trying to be generous because my group was already doing everything, filling in parts and like just, doing what they had to do. So I really had nothing else to do, and so I decided to go help other groups that needed the help, and that's what I did. And then he called me over to tell me to do something since I was just standing there.
This is the second question. What do you think can be done to create a more inclusive and gender equality around the world?
I think we can try to understand each other's genders, like their stereotypes and what people's opinions are on them. Because if we address those stereotypes and try to talk about them to each other, we can understand them and figure out how to get rid of that stereotype that we put on each other, as well as trying to support equal opportunities for us, like all genders, and just promoting gender equity because, we need that. And I feel like it's just important to educate ourselves about the negative impacts, because those negative impacts can just make things worse around with people that we know. It'll just really knock us right off the chart. And I also I think we should just be more. I think we should have better active listening in conversations. Try to create safe spaces where we can all just feel comfortable with expressing our opinions and experiences. And that's it.
Okay, I have a question. So, can an example be of having more people understand how it is to be a woman? Can it be switching spots? Let's say a woman's always used to being at home, being having the meal ready for their husband. Can we say that there can be programs done for men to start doing that for one whole day, or even try doing it for a week or two, and they can give us a feedback at the end of the week of that?
I'd say we could, it's okay to, because they can also, like, the men can also gain, like, different perspectives on that, what women would go through if that were our everyday lives, like the traditional way, you know. That way they can, like, be more open about how to keep everything equal.
All right, we're going to go on with the last question. And the question is, are there specific policies or programs in school or anywhere that have been dealing with sexism?
Yeah, I feel like the dress code would be one of them, because not gonna lie, I feel like everybody would be able to relate. What I'm about to say, it's actually kind of dumb of some of the things that are actually on there, like the thin little spaghetti straps. Come on now. How they have to be at least like 2 fingers, or you can't show your stomach, or like cover your shoulders,
Or,
don't
like,
show
your
your knees. Yeah. It's like, I don't know, it's kind of weird to me, because I mean, I get the fact that a lot of these dress codes were made from a while ago, but I think we should update them, because it's been a while, things have changed, and it's just kind of, we've progressed a little too much, that I think it's just, you view it and you're like, okay, now we gotta, like, do something about this.
Yeah, and isn't it crazy how they said, like, oh, we have these policies to protect you. Shouldn't we be concerned about what they're protecting us from? And that answer is, like, men, no? That we go to school with. So,
For, like, what I've heard, I have friends that get dress coded sometimes, and a lot of the things are, kids from our school don't really care what you wear. They don't really look at you and they're like, oh my god, shoulders, oh my god, knees. They're like, they're wearing a short shirt. It's insane. But I've noticed that a lot of teachers, like, they dress code you, but they're looking at you. So I feel like it's a little weird, because the teachers who are older look at you, but at the same time, like, we have kids our age that really have no interest in that.
yeah. So can it be that schools are protecting us from the teachers that are looking at us?
That could be, but I'm not really sure.
Okay. All right. Thank you for being in this interview. I like the way you answered to everything. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So I'm going to be doing a second interview with my little sister. Her name is Cassandra Salazar, sophomore. And the last person I interviewed, the one that was called Genesis Salazar, is my cousin. They are both here. So I'm going to be giving the questions mainly to Cassandra. But I am going to be getting some opinions from Genesis also in these questions. So it's going to be in between them two, but most centered to Cassandra. Okay, so we're going to start the question with Cassandra Salazar. Hello, how are you?
I'm good.
Okay. So the first question that I'm going to ask you is, can you say that daily sexism that happens to celebrities affect their fans and people in general?
I say yes, because, for example, it could make, like, the female audience listening to that person's music feel like that they can't be able to be, like, a singer when they're older, like that celebrity when they're older. It makes them feel, like, weak, and it makes them feel like they won't be able to do it, and only, like men can be able to do that instead of the women.
Yep, exactly. And do you say this sexism just affects people in general, like their working style?
Yes, it does.
All right, so the second question is going to be, have you noticed any differences in the way boys and girls are treated or perceived by teachers or staff members?
Yes, I have. For example, like, the dress code, it's like a boy has a tank top on, and it's okay for them. Like, there's no problem. But as soon as a girl has a tank top on, and it's like 3 finger length straps, apparently there's a problem with that. Like, just because she's a female, that doesn't mean that her
They instantly get told to cover up.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Have you seen any teachers like actively treat any boys or girls differently?
Yes. Sometimes I see like like with the boys teachers, like with the male teachers, they're like the only thing they'll do is like they'll talk with the boys more often about sports, and when a girl tries to charm in, usually she gets ignored.
All right. Do you have anything to say, Genesis?
In one of my classes, I've seen a teacher. We were talking about a topic I can't really exactly remember about it. But anyway, we were talking about it, and I remember where the dudes were like, they were like talking pretty, how do I say it? Like they were like actively talking. So just talking a lot, but then when a girl would try to say something, they would all be quiet and like not really ignore it. Obviously they would listen because, you know, it's something that they're talking about, but they would listen, but they would just be kind of like quiet. They would hear it and then I guess somewhat pretend like they didn't say anything at the end of it. And then they would like continue with their conversation and everything.
Yeah.
Yep. So for the last question that I'm going to ask you guys is, how do you think gender stereotypes impact the experience of students around the school?
I think it impacts it because, like, for example, a girl, she's taking construction, right? And one of the boys tend to talk her down. And so that makes her feel like she can't do it because she's a girl. And she wants to become an architect one day. But because of that, they make her lose that dream of becoming an architect because now she feels like that she can't do it because she's a woman.
And she like drops out and like
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
Yep. I think the same.
All right. So for me, I feel like typically specifically girls, they may feel like discouraged trying to go into STEM fields because they feel like they've been pressured into, oh, like you can't do this. But boys may face pressure to like go into STEM fields because of their masculine stereotypes that they have to keep up with. Because if they don't like get into it, then they're not manly enough or they're just lazy or something. But it actually leads to a lot of it creates more stereotypes, and it just makes everything kind of worse for the students.
All right, so that concludes our interviewees and how they spoke their opinions. I think everything they said had a point and was right, in my opinion, but I really liked what they said. So this does impact all women around the world, not just celebrities. This does not just apply with people of high class, but also women that are working in something not as high as a celebrity. That also impacts women's lifestyle, incomes, and more. Other than that, I would definitely read more about this topic because it is a problem our society faces, and many won't understand until one speaks about it. As a woman, I'll try my best to have women know that we can all do it as well as other women should do. This also teaches many women to be humble in a way and to talk about their experience to one another so women can be together and have each other's back. Thank you so much.